So we have some newcomers, and I will just mute everyone here on Zoom. We have a lot of Zoom participants today. A total of 9, 10, 10. Yes, okay. All right, now that this recording has started, we will also start. So, okay, in Grammar 5, we will be covering topics about adjectives, adverbs, and verbals. All right. So these are the three modifiers that we're going to be discussing this morning. Okay. So very familiar. I know everyone is already familiar with adjectives and adverbs. However, there is a possibility that you interchange these two topics because they are confusing. Adjectives and adverbs can be interchanged because they can be very confusing. However, there's a very easy trick in order for you to identify the difference between the two, which is when we talk about adjectives, they modify the noun. And when we talk about adverbs, they modify the verb in a sentence. All right. However, as simple as it seems, the way I explained it, it has a more in-depth explanation. Why? Because we will be discussing the different functions of adjectives and adverbs. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, they are modifiers. But first of all, why don't we define what is a modifier? Okay, so when we say modifier, it simply means it adds to the meaning of the word or it makes it more precise. Okay, got it? So they slightly change the meaning of other words. Okay, so when we say modify, it slightly changes. Okay. Okay. So here we go. Not even some presentation. All right, so now that we're clear between adverbs and adjectives, we're going to first focus on adjectives. So it says here that it qualifies the meaning of a noun or pronoun by providing information about its appearance, location, and so on. So when we say qualifies, it adds quality. Okay? For example, the dress. When you just say the dress, it's a pretty dress. Okay, that's an adjective. However, if you use other words such as it's an elegant and extravagant dress, it modifies the meaning. Meaning it's not just a simple pretty dress, it's an extravagant and elegant dress. You see how adjectives have the power to add meaning and modify a certain noun? So that is the role of an adjective. It is a word used to describe a noun or pronoun or to give it a specific meaning. I don't know why. Sana may automatic mute, ano? However, wala. Okay, anyways, it's because when newcomers enter the Zoom meeting, they actually don't automatically mute their microphones. So for those who want to join the meeting, please be reminded to automatically mute your microphones to avoid further distractions. All right, so there. It is a word used to describe a noun or a pronoun or to give it a specific meaning. Let's say, maraming books on the shelf, as you can see there. However, If I ask you to bring me a book, definitely you're going to ask me which book are you pertaining to. Now, to make it more specific, I need to use more adjectives in order for you to identify which book I am asking you to bring me. Okay? I'm asking you to bring me the J.K. Rowling book. It has an orange cover. It's orange, it's thick, and it's located in the right side, something like that. Okay, so those specific words mentioned, orange, thick, it's located on the right side. So definitely those words are modifying the subject of your sentence, meaning it's easier for you to become more specific with those words. Okay? And next, it usually answers the questions what kind, which one, how many, and how much. Okay, let's talk about each of these. What kind? This is the most typical form or the most typical way you can find the adjective in a sentence. What kind? It's a green sweater. What kind of sweater? It's the green sweater. Next is tall woman. What kind of woman is she? She's a tall woman. Okay? Now, sweet cake. What kind of cake is it? It's a sweet cake. Pero wait lang, meron bang cake na hindi sweet? Okay, this example is quite... Anyways, yeah. So, but there are some cakes. Probably there are cakes with less sugar for those people who are diabetic, I guess, or for those who want to reduce their glucose consumption. So, yes. Pero ang ironic lang, no? Sweet cake. Parang ang redundant din because cake is expected to be sweet. However, let's not question that example anymore. What kind of joy? It's pure joy. This is also a little bit redundant for me, right? Is it actually for me, happiness, may nabasa ako sa isang book that happiness and joy have different meaning. Because happiness is like a temporary feeling that you get when you receive a material thing or a specific experience that you have. However, joy, the meaning of joy is actually a deeper meaning, which means when we say joy, it's like there's peace and it's not caused by material things. It's a feeling that is not caused by material things, okay? Let's check Google. What is the exact definition of joy? A feeling of great pleasure and happiness. Great pleasure and happiness. Okay, so pure joy. The adjective here is pure. Okay, what kind? So the example that I gave earlier is I want you to bring me a book from the bookshelf. So definitely you're going to ask me the question, what kind of book? Then I will start describing using adjectives. Or now if we're choosing between two things, which one? Okay? Ang pagkakaiba ng what tsaka which is that which only has few options. The options that are given are very few. But when we say what, it means there are plenty of options. Okay, which one? This book, that child, those rules, these islands. As you can see, the words this, that, those, and these, magtataka ka, why did I call them adjectives? Because they are actually pertained as demonstrative pronouns, okay? They demonstrate a specific thing in a sentence, okay? So, which one? This book. And what is the difference between this and that? Any answers? Yes, please. Exactly. So that's why it's called demonstrative pronouns because it demonstrates the position of the noun. Okay? So let's say this book, it means the book is nearby or abot kamay lang siya. Like it's really near, like on the table. This, I'm pertaining to this book or this phone. All right? But if I say that, it definitely means na mas malayo yung object or yung noun. Okay? So that phone, that is your phone. Okay? But if you are the one gonna make the sentence, of course you're gonna say, this is my phone. This phone is mine. All right. And of course, same with those and those rules, these islands. Again, these pertain to this. These is the plural form of this, which means it talks about things, thing or things that are nearby. But that and those pertain to a thing or things that are far from reach. Okay? Also, it says here that adjectives qualifies the meaning of a noun, but it also quantifies it. Okay? By answering the question, how many? Okay, how many? And this is very common. 4 oceans, 6 lobsters, few farmers, both principals. So, merong different kinds of quantifier adjectives. So, merong countable and uncountable. So, we will be discussing that later. And also, it answers the question how much. It's either a specific answer or a non-specific answer. So we have more money, little patience, extensive rainfall, no time. Okay. So again, the adjectives usually answer these 4 questions. What kind is it? Which one is it? How many are there? How much is it? Okay. All right. Any questions so far? Everything is clear? From Zoom, participants from Zoom, you can also drop your questions if you have any. So we have 11 participants in total. Okay, let's move on. Now, there are different locations of adjectives. Where can we find them in a sentence? Sabi ko sa inyo magkape kayo, nakakaantok ng lesson na to. All right, so first, they can be found before a noun. Before means bago. Okay. So here it says, he was a competent official. Nababasa niyo ba? Or because it's yellow, you can't read it so well? Okay, I'll just read it for you. He was a competent official. As you can tell, official is the subject, and the word competent modifies the word official. Okay? He was a competent official. So there we have the noun located, the adjective located before the noun. Another example is, I would not want a cheap shirt as a present. Again, the noun is shirt and the adjective is cheap, and it modifies and describes the shirt. Now, here it says that an adjective can be seen after a sense verb. Pero wait lang, ma'am. What is again the meaning of sense verb? I was not able to attend that lecture. Okay? Again, it's very easy. When we say sense verb, it talks about your senses. We have five senses. Your sense of sight, smell, taste, touch, ano ba? Hearing, sense of hearing, right? Hindi mo lang confident na alam yung lima eh, no? What else? Sight, smelling, tasting, feeling, and hearing. Yeah, so we have five senses. So it is located after a sense verb. Sense verbs are, it, they actually tackle words that describe your senses. Okay? The kitten seems frisky and playful. How does the kitten seem? Frisky and playful. Okay? So, ayun po yung sense verb, seems. Okay? The room appears empty and quiet. How does the room appear? Empty and quiet. Again, the sense verb here is appears. All right, do we have any questions about sense verbs? What are the other sense verbs? Looks, tastes. Okay? There you go. So as you can see, after a sense verb, you can find some adjectives. It can be more than one, it can be just one, as many as you want. Now, another location of an adjective is after the noun. However, this location is the most non-recommendable one. Why? Basahin natin yung example, guys. The building, old and fragile, was demolished. As you can see, this is not a simple basic structure of a sentence. It's actually complex. So why would you attempt to use this type of structure when you know to yourself that it may cause some confusion, and on your part, it can also cause you point deductions kapag nagkamali ka, right? So, but is it correct? Yes, it's correct. It is possible that the location of an adjective is after the noun. However, you have to know where to put the proper punctuation marks, such as the comma. Kasi pag walang comma, it automatically makes it wrong. So that's why must save much better. When you choose to use safer answers, I believe it will help you be more comprehensive, understandable in your written and in your speaking subtests. All right? Another example is I considered the teacher tactful. As you can see, the noun is teacher. The word that describes a teacher is tactful. And it is seen after the noun. Okay? Pwede mo namang sabihin that she's a tactful teacher. That's the most simple form. Okay? She's a tactful teacher. She's an active teacher. She's an attentive teacher. I consider the teacher attentive. So, ang nangyayari kasi, medyo nadidisrupt yung idea or yung pinaka-punto mo sa isang sentence. Kaya naman, this technique is not that recommendable. But if you are confident that you can use it, why not? Okay. Lastly, I don't know. Okay, so we have after a linking verb. Again, hindi po ako nakattend ng lecture about different types of verbs. That's okay. You can go back to those replay videos, as I mentioned earlier, or you can just wait until it covers that lesson again. Hi, good morning. Okay. Again, what is a linking verb? Okay, a linking verb from the word linking, it actually means it bridges something. Okay? Ito pala, meron palang mute all button pero nagpapakahirap pa talaga. Hinahanapin kung sino yung mga hindi nakamute. Okay, I've muted everyone. And welcome to the newcomers here in the classroom and you're on Zoom. Okay, so linking verb are words that link the subject and the main verb, okay? So we have was, were, is, are. Those are the linking verbs. And it says here that an adjective is commonly found after a linking verb. So the shoppers are eager for bargains. I'm sorry if this is yellow and you can't really see it. But don't worry, you don't need to take screenshots of the presentation because handouts will be given later. And aside from the handouts, there's a written activity that will be done later if we have ample time. So we will be doing an activity and I will be giving out some handouts. Or if hindi naman po makapag-print, then you will be given soft copies of those handouts. Okay. Ay, mainit ba? Naiinitan na sila. Sige na nga, i-on ko na nga. Dumami na po kasi sila dito sa site. Sa site? Construction site. I mean, dito sa room pala. Super lamig. Okay, yeah. So, as you can see, the second example is the participants are waiting for the results. The linking verbs here that are used are, both are, okay? So the participants are waiting for the results. Waiting is an adjective that describes the participants. What kind of participants are they? They are waiting participants. What kind of shoppers are they? They are eager shoppers. Okay, you understand how these are used as adjectives and that they modify the main noun of a sentence. Okay, so again, the location of adjectives can be found before a noun, after a sense verb, after the noun, and after a linking verb. Okay, so now we will talk about the different forms of adjectives. So first we have normal. There's a reason why it's called normal. Because these are the most common. These are the most usual that you can encounter. And these are words such as intelligent, efficient, sagacious, laconic, all right? Or simple words, pretty, small, big. Those are normal adjectives, meaning hindi sila yung nakakalito. They're actually just the simple ones. When you create or when you construct a basic sentence, you would usually just say, that's a pretty big ball, or that's a pretty big pizza, or it's a tasty and savory meal. Tasty, savory, those are words that are in normal form of adjectives. Okay. Number two, adjectives as proper nouns as adjectives. Formed from a proper noun and begins with a capital letter. Okay, so proper noun again, what is the difference between proper and common noun? When we say proper, they are the names. That's right, specific. They are the names of the cities, countries, names of people, names of an establishment or a brand. Those are all proper nouns. But they can be used as adjectives as well. All right? Ngayon nyo lang nalaman yun, no? Yes, they can be used as adjectives. However, you need to change the form of the verb by adding an or by adding ian, en, is, ish, and ik. For example, Duke Ellington was an African American composer. Okay? African language, American accent, British accent. Those are pronouns used as modifiers. Okay? What kind of breakfast are you having? I'm having an American breakfast. What kind of toast is that? It's a French toast. So those pronouns, they function as modifiers or as adjectives. Is it clear? Okay. Now it gets even more complicated because why the heck do nouns are used as adjectives? Di ba? Lalo nakaka-confuse. Itigil na natin to. Well, yes. Good news is nouns can be used as adjectives. For example, music critic. What kind of critic is she? She's a music critic. She's not an English critic. She's a music critic. Can you please hand this folder to the music critic? Huwag mo naman i-hand over sa English critic kasi I was asking you to hand it over to the music critic. So, do you see how important adjectives are actually? Because there's a lot of confusion going on. Can happen. A lot of confusion can happen if you use the wrong adjective. Okay, so usually answer the questions what kind, which one. All right. Have you finished your homework? No, I still have to finish my math homework. But I'm done with my history homework. Okay, so the word history, it's a noun. Math, it's a noun because they're subjects. But why didn't pala silang gamitin as adjectives? Isn't that amazing? But parang ako lang na-amaze. All right, so there you go. Again, nouns can be used as adjectives. Okay. If you have any questions per slide, just let me know. Even those here on Zoom. Kung talagang nakikinig kayo, dapat nagtatanong kayo. Ginudge. No, just kidding. But really, if you feel like there is something confusing in the lecture, please do raise your hands or ask questions. Okay. Again, forms of adjectives can be normal adjectives, they can be proper nouns, they can be nouns, they can also be possessive nouns. Again, when we say possessive, it's okay if you don't take screenshots of the, oh, because you can see it properly. Oo nga, no? Sino ba kasi gumawa nitong presentation na to? Ba't ganun yung mga kulay? Nagalit. Kevin, bakit naman green tsaka yellow? Well, I don't know actually why, but I should have changed it, no? Kasi hindi ko rin alam. First time ko siya gamitin dito sa room. So I didn't know what it looked like on the projector. I only looked at it on the computer kasi. So, anyways, next time probably I'll just ask, or I should change the colors and the fonts because it actually hinders, it actually distracts you or hinders you from understanding it properly. So again, adjectives can be found in the form of possessive nouns. When we say possessive nouns, it talks about ownership. Yes? So, for example, the tumbler, and, right? It's Anne's tumbler. So, the cat's favorite food is tuna. Who's, okay, the cat's favorite food is tuna. As you can see, cat, we're talking about a possessive noun here. All right? Whose favorite food is it? It's the cat's. All right. And the noun that is being modified is what? I mean, oh my god, food, right? So cat's favorite food. Peter's motorcycle was stolen last night. The word that is being modified here is motorcycle. Whose motorcycle is it? It's Peter's. Therefore, we can assume that possessive nouns can be used as adjectives as well. Clear? Parang hindi ako sure kung clear. Yeah, okay. Now, last one, pronouns. O lahat na ng parts of speech naging adjective na. Proper noun, nouns, and pronouns. Well, yeah, English is very confusing. But there you have it. Pronouns can be used as adjectives as well. Pronouns are words that replace or they serve as an alternative for the subject or the proper noun. Pronouns, okay? So, they answer the question, which one? How many? How much? Or yes. Okay, so we have different kinds of pronouns as adjectives. That, these are demonstrative, like I discussed this earlier already. That, these, this, those. This and these pertain to things that are nearby and pertain to things that are close or easy to reach. But that and those are demonstrative pronouns that pertain to things that are quite far from your standing or from where you are. Now we also have interrogative pronouns that act as adjectives. And those are what and which. Interrogative pronouns. What and which. And then we also have indefinite pronouns. When we say indefinite, what does that mean again? There is no definite, there's no definite answer. Okay, so there's no definite number, there's no definite amount. Okay? It's indefinite. Oh, nag-lesson tayo last time about suffixes and prefixes. Do you remember that? Most of you were here. Okay. And most Zoom participants were here. Okay. All, many, another, any, both, each, either, few, more, most, neither, other, several, some. As you can see, these pronouns are all indefinite because they don't show or they don't specify the amount of something or the quantity of something. Okay? So these are the different types of pronouns. So we have pronouns used as adjectives, sorry. Pronouns used as adjective. That, these, this, those, what, which, and the list here in the indefinite list. Again, no need to take screenshots. Now let's read some examples. Woody wrecked his car in the crash. Woody wrecked his car in the crash. The word his is a pronoun, but it acts as an adjective because it modifies the word car. Whose car is it? It's his car. Rollerblading is our idea of fun. The pronoun used is our. The word it modifies is the idea. It's a possessive. It also is kind of possessive. The Millers cultivated their garden. Their garden. The owner of the garden, or the word that modifies garden, is there, and the adjective uses pronoun. Your photo turned out well. She went to that concert. They took those classes. Which concert did she hear? Di ba dapat which concert did she see? Ang gulo ng examples dito ah. She All right, which concert did she hear? O baka naman bulag siya, so ano lang, pinakinggan niya lang, right? Okay, sige. Ang problematic naman. Okay, which concert did she see? Again, bakit ginamit ko yung word na see instead of watch? Do you have any idea why? Huh? So I said, binago ko yung example, guys, ah. So instead of here, I replaced it with see. Which concert did she see? Bakit hindi mo ginamit ma'am yung word na watch? Bakit see? What's the difference? Ang tanong, is there a difference? Actually, there is. Okay, so ginagamit po natin yung see when we watch a live performance. But we use the word watch when it's just watched on a screen, like a computer, cell phone, or basta, yun na yun. But anyway, when you go to theaters, I can see a movie. It means you were there at the cinema. So you use the word see. Okay? I saw the concert. But I wasn't able to go to Taylor Swift Eras tour, so I just watched it. I'm gonna watch it on Disney Channel. Tama ba? Sa Disney Channel, di ba malabas, di ba? Sa mga hindi nakapunta dyan, pina-plug ko na ngayon. Download na ng Disney Channel app. Okay. Nag-promote pa. Anyway, which concert did she see? What grade did he get? What? So, the word what is an adjective, but it's used in an interrogative sentence, and it is possible. Whose party was best? And we still have 6 and 7 different forms of adjectives. So we have number 6 with affixes. When we say affixes, it can be either prefix or a suffix. Okay, it's just an affix is either the two. Okay, it can be in the beginning or at the end of a word. Example: I am described by my friends as a careless individual. The word careless, what is the root word? Care. Oh, may sumagot dito, less daw. Joke lang. Okay. I am described by my friends as a careless individual. As you can see, some adjectives, a lot of adjectives actually, they have affixes. It's either a prefix or a suffix. Sandy is a reliable member of the team. liable, and then the prefix is re. Okay. And lastly, participles. Ito yung pinaka-confusing. But yeah, we will be discussing each later. Participles. Again, this was discussed in grammar, I don't know, I think 3. And it talks about the different forms and tenses. Parang diniscuss ko yun nung nandito ako last February. We discussed about verb tenses, and one of them is participles. Okay? Look like verbs but used as adjectives. So this is actually for me the most confusing because actually there are verbs that can be used as adjectives as well. Okay? However, nakadepende siya sa location ng word in a sentence. And the location of the word in a sentence, it actually alters the meaning, the function. Okay? So mamaya, makakita kayo ng more examples, but differentiate ninyo yung adjective sa verb. And malalaman nyo, you will find out that they, even if it has the same spelling, the same specific word can be used as an adjective, and it can also be used as a verb. Okay? So, I picked up the crying baby. Diba? Kung hindi natin dinidiscuss ang adjectives, you would be saying that crying is supposed to be a verb, right? However, in this case, it is not used as a verb, it is used as an adjective which modifies the word baby. What kind of baby is it? It's the crying baby. Okay, can you, let's say I'm a nurse and then, can you, I'm gonna ask you, let's say the babies, there are many babies in the nursing room at the hospital. Now, there's only one crying baby, so I'm just gonna ask you to go and attend to that crying baby. So, specifically, I'm asking you to attend your attention to that crying baby, all right? They were enlightened parents. The word enlighten, it can also be used as a verb. Please enlighten me, okay? Like, i-explain mo pa mas mabuti para mas maintindihan mo. Okay, so please enlighten me. But however, in this case, since the position of the word enlighten is before the noun, it functions as an adjective. They were enlightened parents. Hindi na sila naguguluhan, enlightened na sila. Naintindihan nila bakit yung anak nila ang aking mabuntis. Joke lang. Grabe sa example. They are now enlightened as to why their kid is misbehaving. Nun pala, the kid was undergoing peer pressure. Or nun pala, the kid was undergoing anxiety or depression. So now the parents are more enlightened as to why their kid is misbehaving. Okay. Again, what are the different forms of adjectives? Normal, yung pinakasimple. Proper nouns, nouns, possessive nouns, pronouns, words with words with affixes and participles. Okay, do you have any questions? Okay, ito na yung sinasabi ko sa inyong examples. So, the word increasing used as an adjective and the word increasing used as a verb. Let's read the first example. The figures illustrated had an increasing trend. So, ano yung first sentence? Adjective or verb? Okay, wait lang ha. Huwag muna kayo sumagot. Antayin natin yung mga sagot ng nasa Zoom. On the first example, the figures illustrated had an increasing trend. Is the word increasing used as an adjective or is it used as a verb? If you want to raise your hand, you need to also explain. Okay, I'm waiting for your answers, Zoom participants. Ang sumagot may +1 sa speaking. Joke lang. Ba't walang sumasagot sa Zoom? Kunwari lang yata kayong nakikinig eh. Joke lang. Ito na. Ryan. Ay, hindi ko na nga sasabihin yung name. Para pag nagkamali, hindi siya mapahiya. So, may sumagot. Sabi ko na. Sabi niya verb daw. Agree ba kayo na verb? No. Yung mga nasa classroom, they don't agree that it's a verb. Okay, who wants to answer? I think you were gonna answer earlier. What function is it? Verb or adjective? Okay, see Jose Javier. Hi, Jose Javier. He answered adjective. So may nag-answer ng verb, may nag-answer ng adjective dito. So ngayon, na-confuse kayo lalo, right? Pero di ba nga, I mentioned that an adjective, a participle, is located before the noun. So ito yung noun eh. We're talking about the word trend. Right? So, congratulations, Jose Javier and Karen May. At saka sa lahat ng sumagot ng adjective. That's right. Because this is the noun. It modifies the word increasing, modifies the word trend. Now let's read the second example. The figures are increasing. Ito, verb na talaga to. Because it's an action that is being done. It's happening. Alright? Okay, ngayon, mas mahirap to. Because tatlo yung examples. Alright, the word declining used as an adjective and as a verb. Let's read the first example. The line graph showed a declining pattern. Okay, I'm waiting for your answers. Yes? Parang hindi siya confident eh. Yes, actually, you're right. Okay, may mga sumagot din dito sa adjective, adjective, adjective. Yeah, all your answers are right. Una, nakita nyo lang kasi yung sagot dito sa una eh, kaya ginaya nyo na. Joke lang. Yeah, that's right. It modifies the word pattern. What kind of pattern is it? It's a declining pattern. So here, on the first example, the word declining is used as an adjective. Malinaw ba? Parang confused ka. Ay, hindi mo makita? Oh, yeah. So what should we do? Do you want to move closer? Okay. Sige. All right. Next example. The sales are declining yearly. Oh, may sumagot na agad dito. Verb. Napaka-active ni Jose at saka ni Karen. So dito po, sino yung sumagot ng verb? Verb lahat? Okay, yeah. The sales are declining yearly. So we have the word declining. It acts as a verb because it's an action. Okay. Last example. There was a declining pattern presented. Okay, wag na to kasi obvious naman yung sagot. Same lang din siya sa first example, right? There was a declining pattern. The word modified its pattern and the modifier is declining. Okay. Meron pa pala pang walo. Describing age, size, or length of something. Favorite ko to kasi I always get confused din naman when I'm writing more than two adjectives to describe a specific noun. Like, for example, describe the Christmas tree. It was a tall, green, imported Christmas tree. So ano ba ang unahin? Yung size ba? Yung height ba? Yung kulay ba? You're gonna find out soon. Abangan. Alright. 10-minute century-old short leg. Ito. I remember I discussed before, but I'm gonna just repeat it. So I mentioned that, um, for example, the sentence is, how many minutes is the lecture gonna last? The lecture will last for 15 minutes. Napakabilis na. Okay, 30 minutes. The lecture will last for 30 minutes. Now, if I'm going to change the structure of the sentence and use 30 minutes as an adjective, this is what I'm going to do. It's a 30 dash minute, remove the S, lecture. The 30 dash minute lecture, the 30-minute is the adjective that describes how long the lecture is going to take. Okay? So it's a 30-minute lecture. Just as the example is shown here, meron kayong makikitang dash. Ganon. Okay? So, same lang din naman yung ibig kong sabihin. It's just that I changed the structure. So, since I changed the structure, yung function ng words na change din. Right? How long will the meeting last? The meeting will last for 30 minutes. The lecture pala. Di ba nalito na rin ako? Okay, so it's a 30-minute lecture. Nun pa lang siya nagamit as an adjective. And that's what we're pertaining to on number 8, which is describing the size, the age, the length, or the time. Yan. Okay. A century-old egg was served for dinner. What? Meron bang ganun? Ha? A century-old egg? Ay, hindi siya 100 years. Brand. Brand. I'm curious. What kind of egg is that? Black. Ay, nakikita ko yun sa mga ramen. Ano ba? Ganyan pala tawag doon. Now I know. Let me check. Ah, yeah. I watched this in mukbang videos. It looks disgusting though. Wait lang. Pero sabi na masarap daw. Have you tried it? Sino dito sa Zoom naka-try na ng century-old egg? Can you please tell us what it tastes like? According to some mukbang videos, masarap daw siya. However, if you smell it, it smells bad. Like durian, right? It smells bad, but it tastes good. But I don't know. I haven't tasted it before. Never pa ako nakapunta ng Davao. Okay. So, since walang sumagot, meaning you guys haven't tasted the century-old egg, right? Okay. Anyways, nadidistract sa bawat example rin. He is a short-legged man. So, when we say he's a short-legged man, it simply... Alam na ko siya. It simply means the guy is short. He's not too tall, right? Okay. Pwede naman sabihin short na. But, I'm short leg. Parang masyadong harsh. Okay. I wanted to have a blue-eyed white dragon when I was a child. A blue-eyed white dragon. First of all, dragons don't exist. Why would you want a blue-eyed? Okay. So, pero may mga tao talagang they have a great interest na mag-alaga ng mga weird kind of pets. I have a student, she's an 11-year-old Korean girl. Tinanong ko siya, do you like pets? Sabi niya, yeah, I do. Actually, we have pets. Sabi ko, really? What kind of pets do you have? Do you have dogs? No, 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 no. Actually, we have lizards. Tapos, mga gecko, yung mga ganun daw yung mga pets. Sabi ko, really? Kind of strange. Siya, sabi ko, why are you interested in that? It's because of my dad. Yan daw yung bet ng tatay niya. Ano. Sabi ko, so sa susunod naman, baka naman meron na kayong mga turtles, indoor turtles. Kasi actually, when I was young, I was able to take care of some goldfish. Hindi naman yun unique. Pero after that, nag-upgrade ako sa turtles. Yung maliliit, hindi na sila lumalaki. Ganun lang talaga yung size nila. You know that? Have you seen those kinds of pets before? The little turtles. At sa gabi nagiging ninja turtles. No, joke lang. But yeah, I really took care of those little pets. And wala lang, cute lang. But nowadays, I'm not really fond of pets because they kind of are time consuming and if hindi mo lang din naman mabibigyan ng attention, proper attention and care, you just better not get one. Kasi kawawa din naman, right? Kasi para silang babies that they really require extra care and attention. And they're actually living things. So, even sabi nila, wala daw emotions ang mga hayop. But I feel like they do. Right? Anyways, that's not our topic for today. Okay. Number 9, quantity adjectives. A quantifier is a word or phrase which is used before a noun to indicate the amount or quantity, like some, many, a lot of, a few, are examples of quantifiers. So when we say quantifiers, the root word is quantity. At ang ibig sabihin nun, the amount or the number of something. Okay? So, we will focus on these adjectives. Quantifiers can be used with both countable and uncountable nouns. Examples. There are some books on the desk. It doesn't specifically say how many books. It just says that there are some. But we all know that the word some denotes less numbers. Kasi we know that the opposite of some is a lot or plenty, right? But it does not have a definite number or it's not countable, all right? He's got only a few dollars. How much money have you got? Here is a large quantity of fish in this river. There is a large quantity of fish in this river. He's got more friends than his sister. Okay? So all these words in bold letters are called quantifiers or words that act as an adjective to describe or to modify a noun. Okay, so we have count singular, count plural, and non-count. Count singular are words such as each, every, any, one. Okay, for example, there is one book on the table. And then, so another example is there aren't any books on the table. So, kaya siya tinawag na count because you know that there's a specific number or there is no specific number of something. Okay? Kasi sabi ko, there aren't any books on the table, meaning zero. The word any, you can already tell that there's none, right? Pero one, there is one book on the table. Um, how often do you work out at the gym? I work out at the gym every day in a week. So there's a specific count of days in a week. 7, right? Kaya siya tinawag na count singular. You got it? Okay. Count plural. Some, any, most, more, several, few, fewer, one of the, a couple of. So, count plural can be, it's either, ito, yung mga quantifiers na walang specific number, but it can be also quantifiers with specific number, like one of, or a couple of. When we say couple, it already talks about two, right? So do you understand now the difference between count singular and count plural? Now we also have what you call non-count. Much, less, little, a very, very little. And then we also have, ang kaibahan ng nito is that you can't count. Meaning we're pertaining, they are modifying uncountable nouns. Okay? Yes. So we will continue this discussion after our break. What time is it? It's 10:22, so I'm just gonna give you 10-minute break. Okay? So we will be back after 10 minutes. Okay, so wrong slide. We're on the wrong slide. So we were discussing earlier the different quantities of adjectives. So we have count singular, count plural, and non-count adjectives. So we will be reading some sentence examples. So for count singular, I practice every day. Every is the word that modifies your day. So how often? Every day. So you can count it. Meaning, in a month, if there are 30 days in a month, that's 30 days. If it's 31 days, that's 31 days. I'd like one donut, please. One. You can definitely identify the number of donuts, and it's just one. Okay, so that's how we use count singular. It's easy, right? Simple. Pwede siyang ma-count. Count plural naman, it means more than one, kasi nga plural. So it can either be uncountable, like some chips, a lot of, many, fewer. Okay? And then non-count. Can I have some water? We're talking about the nouns here that are non-count. Kasi you can't count water. You can't count strength. And you can't count courage. Okay? So let me further explain the difference between count plural and non-count because I feel like it's a little confusing. So sa count plural, we're talking about words, the nouns, na pwede mo siyang ma-count. Kaya siya tinawag na count plural. Okay? So chips, you can count the chips, the pieces of chips. You can count the books. You can count the pencils. Okay? So you can use adjectives to modify count nouns or countable nouns. Now, non-count nouns are examples: water, strength, courage, hope, faith, those words are non-count. But you can use adjectives such as some, a lot of, less to modify those nouns. Understood? Okay. So, ganun lang po siya kasimple. Very, very simple. Actually, this discussion, this lecture complicates everything because we're like, hinihimay-himay natin yung functions ng bawat adjective. However, you've encountered this a lot of times. It's just that, ngayon mo lang nalaman, non-count pala yun. Count plural pala yun, and count singular pala yun. But the thing is, if you're looking at it in a bigger perspective, simple lang talaga yung ibig sabihin, right? Okay. Putting adjectives in order. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina na, what if I choose to use more than one adjective or more than two adjectives to describe a specific noun? Is it possible to do that? Yes, of course. But the thing is it advisable? Not really. Kasi sa writing, ang ina-advise sa inyo sa IELTS is to be more direct, to keep it simple and understandable. Meaning, there's less room for mistakes. Pero bakit niyo po tinuturo to? Just because you have to know the order of how you position those adjectives. Alright? So, it may not be so helpful or it may not be so necessary on your written component. However, maganda rin na alam nyo yung tamang pag-order, yung tamang order ng adjectives. So, it says here that you started off with an article or a pronoun, such as articles are and the. Okay, yun yung articles. And then pronouns are she, he, her, your, ganyan. Then next is the size. So size yung the next nyo. After that is the age, and then the color, the participle, the proper adjective, noun used as an adjective, and then the noun. So if you read it, your large, old green, hand-blown French wine bottle. All these words to describe the noun bottle. Your large, old green, hand-blown French wine bottle. Which beverage did you get from my room? I got your large, old green, hand-blown French wine bottle. Okay? Okay. Astig na. Sino kayo gumawa ng example na to? Cute. Anyways, let's have an exercise! Yay! Okay. Putting... ano? Eto na. Putting adjectives in order. Lahat magsagot you have to use your phones or get your notes. Sa mga nasa Zoom, you can also drop your answers if you want. Number 1, sports car, British, that, small, and red. Sana pala in-screenshot ko. Sabi nung iba dito. Okay, sige. Balik natin. Ibigyan ko kayo ng chance na mag-screenshot. Mabait ako eh. Ayan. Okay na? Tama na. Yung mga hindi naka-screenshot, joke lang. Alright. So we're gonna be doing an exercise. Alright? So let's find out if nagets nyo ba? This is the first example. Hala! Kunwari hindi nila nakita. Kunwari na lang hindi nila nakita. 1 second lang yun eh. Okay, who wants to answer? So, hindi nila nakita. Hindi nila nakita that time. What, do you want to answer? Sports car, British, that, small, red. So, ano yung mauna? Bakit that? Gusto ko eh. Okay. Okay. Who's confident enough to share their answer? Yes, go ahead. That small red British sports car. Check nga natin. So sabi dito sa article or pronoun. So that, sabi nyo, small. Ano ang kulay? Red. And then, British sports car. And sports car is the noun. Yung sports, ano pa rin yun? Adjective pa rin. Okay. Sports car. So, very good. Tama ba lahat? Tama, nakatama kayo lahat? Hopefully. Okay, next. Shirt green the silk. Shirt silk the green. Joke lang. Yung mga nasa Zoom, ayaw nyo mag-drop ng answers. Yung mga hindi sasagot sa Zoom, aalisin ko po sa listahan. Joke lang. Okay, anyone from the... Yes. Tama ba, guys? Let's find out. Tama. Okay. The green shirt, silk. Bakit napunta po sa dulo yung silk? Ang pinaka-last po always is the noun. Okay? So, okay lang din naman if magbalik natin yung adjectives. Hindi naman din yung crime. It's not a crime. It's just that you have to make sure that the pronoun and the noun are situated in the beginning, pronoun, and then at the end is the noun. Okay. One more. Jacket down filled, new winter up. So people, sa mga nandito naman, ha? A new down-filled winter jacket. Tama. Okay. So as you can see, nakakalito kasi nilagyan nila ng hyphen yung after the jacket. And then, meron ding hyphen sa gitna ng down and filled. Kaya nilito talaga kayo niyan. But the thing is, a new down-filled winter jacket. I-review nga natin to. So, nakakalito kasi hindi mo ma-identify, wala dun size, wala dun color, di ba? Kaya yung number 3 is a little confusing, but then you got it right. So, good job. Okay. So now we will also be talking about the adjectives in comparative and superlative form. We all know comparative means we're talking about two things or we're comparing two nouns. Superlative is it's either the lowest or highest or okay. Words with ER comparative and words with that you add EST you put them in the superlative form. Higher, prettier, simpler, highest, prettiest, simplest. When one does not make comparisons, the adjective is in its positive form. Comparative degree, used in comparing two people, places, or ideas. Superlative degree compares more than two people, places, things, or ideas. For example, Anna is prettier than Roxanne. These pair of shoes are simpler than those pair of shoes. Okay, we're comparing two pairs of shoes. And then superlative, this is the prettiest face. Her face is the prettiest face I've ever seen. So among a big number of people, siya yung prettiest face. Okay, so superlative. That's easy peasy. No need for further explanation. Okay, longer syllabicated words. We add more, less, most, least. She is more prosperous. He is less, this is less convenient. Okay, we're just comparing two things. For example, the Browns are more prosperous than the Knights. I'm talking about family names, okay? Brown is the surname and Knights is the surname, and I'm talking about families. So the Browns are more prosperous than the Knights, meaning mas mayaman ang pamilyang Brown kaysa sa pamilyang Knights. Okay? Um, these these pants are less convenient than those pants. Or this jogger pants. These jogger pants are more convenient than jeans. Okay? So you're comparing two things only. Superlative. Most prosperous, least convenient, meaning the Browns are the most prosperous families. The Browns are the most prosperous families in the whole neighborhood. Okay? Meaning, sa lahat ng nakatira sa subdivision na yon, ang mga Browns ang pinaka mayaman. Alright. And then, these gray sweatpants are the most convenient ones in my closet. Meaning, sa lahat ng pants na meron ako sa closet ko, yung sweatpants ko ang pinaka-convenient to wear. Okay? You understand? When one does not make comparisons, the adjective is in positive form. Now, we will be discussing the common problems. Common problems with the comparative and superlative. Ito yung mga ma-encounter natin na confusions because there will be a lot of confusion here. So let's try to identify which are those. Some adjectives do not form their comparative and superlative forms just like the rest. Be careful in using these terms. Okay. So may mga adjectives naman daw na hindi pwedeng baguhin yung form. Such as words, irregular words. Okay? Good. Good, better, best. Bad, worst, worst. Little, less, least. Much, many, some. More, most. Far, further, farthest. Okay. Tingnan nga natin, baka naman mali-mali yung mga sagot ko. Joke lang. Okay, there you go. So these are what you call irregular comparative and superlative forms, meaning you can't just change the spelling, you can't just add more or less. You have to really change the word because they have a specific form, okay? Common problems with the comparative and superlative, same topic pa rin tayo. Modifiers which cannot be logically used in the comparative and superlative form express absolute conditions and do not allow for degrees of comparison. So, may mga words, may mga adjectives din naman na hindi na pwedeng baguhin. Okay? They don't allow alterations. They don't allow changes anymore. And those words are absolute, perfect, perfect na nga eh. You don't need to say anything else beyond that. It's just, yung highest form, perfection. Perfect, unique, entire. Okay. Pero ang mga Pilipino makukulit eh. Like for example, nagtanong kayo, lahat po ba mabibigyan ng libreng bigas? Eh, ang sabi ng mayor, I will be distributing free rice, a sack of rice for the entire town. Pero ang magtatanong pa yung mga Pilipino, lahat po ba mabibigyan? Entire na nga eh. Hindi mo na yung mababago. It's definite already, okay? All right. And then, for example, when you ask for an evaluation, what can you say about this? What can you say about my performance? It was perfect. I don't have anything else to say. You know, you're perfect, right? Okay, common problems with the same pa rin, avoid double comparison. Eto, I really like this topic because this is what I always notice when I'm having one-on-one classes with my students. So, pinaka-common mistake to. Even among native speakers, they commit this mistake, and even among Filipinos, and even Koreans, they would normally add double comparison in their sentences, such as more bigger, most funniest, and nasa superlative form na nga, tapos lalagyan mo pa ng most. So it makes it redundant. Okay, it doubles the comparison. Okay. So first example, I am convinced that my poodle is more smarter than your Dalmatian. Almost perfect. I think it just means that it's not yet perfect. Yeah, it's almost perfect, right? Okay, so as you can see, you can either remove the ER and just say more smart. Pwede naman yun. Pero huwag mong pagsamahin yung more at saka smarter. Kasi parehas siyang comparative form. Okay? So, don't double the comparison. The right structure is, please read, I am convinced that my poodle is more smart than your Dalmatian. Or, okay, so as you can see sa second example, inalis na yung more, then pinalitan na lang siya, smarter na lang yung iniwan. Okay? So it's either you drop the ER or you remove the more to make it more accurate. Okay? Texas is more bigger than Oklahoma. The correct one is Texas is bigger than Oklahoma. And then that is the funniest joke I have ever heard. Funniest. Superlative. Okay? Avoid double negatives. Very similar to sa kanina na double comparison. Ito naman, double negative. Sobrang confusing din kasi minsan talaga na when naka-negative form na nga yung adjective, dinagdagan mo pa siya ng more negativity. More negativity. Hindi double negative mo siya, okay? We decided there wasn't no point in pursuing our research further. There was not no. So, may not na nga, may no pa. Okay? There was no point. We decided there was no point in pursuing our research further. Isa sa pinaka na-encounter ko is the word, may specific word na laging nalilito eh. Ay, eto to. Um, it's in the tip of my tongue actually. Yung word na uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. So, negative na siya, di ba? So, nung minsan, may narinig akong student, feeling, parang sa coaching class, sa coaching session na tayo, sabi niya, it is not uncomfortable. It is not uncomfortable for me because, ang ibig niya sabihin, it is not, it is uncomfortable. Okay? Let's say she was describing the couch. The couch was uncomfortable. It was not uncomfortable. So I couldn't sleep well. So ang ibig niya sabihin, the couch was uncomfortable, so I couldn't sleep well. Pero ang sinabi niya, the couch was not uncomfortable. So, nilagyan mo na nga ng uncomfortable, tapos nilagyan mo pa ng not. So that's what you call double negative. Alright? So you have to think twice before you add the word not. Okay. May isa pa ako naiisip na example eh. Um, okay, I'll think about it later. Baka mamaya bigla kong maalala. Okay, now we will talk about adverbs. We are done talking about adjectives. Sobrang tagal ng adjective na discussion, ano? So, yeah, because apparently there are 9 different forms of adjectives. That's why ngayon pa lang tayo mapupunta sa adverb. So what is an adverb? Simply, it's a word that modifies a verb. Okay? It talks about how the performance happened or how the intensity or the quality of an action. Okay? So a word that modifies a verb, it can also modify an adjective or another adverb by making its meaning more specific. Okay. Pinaka-common na adverbs ay yung may mga ly sa dulo. She drove recklessly. The verb is drive or drove. And how? It answers the question, how was the action done? And then, recklessly. Meaning, hindi siya maingat mag-drive. She drove recklessly. She got into an accident because she drove recklessly. Example, several passersby stared curiously. The word curiously here is the adverb which describes which verb? Stared. Yes, that's right. So ang verb dito ay stared. How did the passerby stare? Curiously. Ibig sabihin, marites. Several passerby stared curiously. O, diba? Bago, papunta na sana sa work, pero may nakitang chika dun sa kanto. Nakiusyoso ba? In Tagalog, nakiusyoso sila, right? Her very expensive dress was ruined. So, identify natin dito, asaan yung adverb? Okay. So, sabi dito, an adverb can modify an adjective. So as you can see, expensive is the adjective that describes the dress. Therefore, very is the adverb. Okay? It modifies how expensive the dress is. It's not just expensive, it's very expensive. All right? Understood? Third example. Elizabeth cooked less deliciously as she did before her husband. So ito yung sinasabi natin, it modifies another adverb. So adverb na nga yung deliciously, dinagdagan pa ng less. Pero adverb pa rin yun. So therefore, it's right. And yung verb dito is cooked, right? How did Elizabeth cook? Less deliciously. The word less and deliciously, they both act as adverbs. The word less modifies deliciously, and less deliciously modifies the way Elizabeth cooked. Okay? Parang ang bilis mo magsalita. Okay lang naman. The pacing of my speech is not too fast. Okay. All right. So now we understand that adverbs can modify verbs. It can modify adjectives, and it can also modify another verb. Actually, ganito lang siya kasimple. Kagaya nung lesson kanina na, eto, meaning, pwede ka rin mag-multiple adjectives. So, kagaya lang din siya ng adjectives, pwede ka rin mag-multiple adverbs. Okay? Ang effort. Alright. Adverbs that modify verbs. Focus muna tayo sa adverbs that modify verbs. So, usually answer the questions when, where, how, to what degree. To what degree. Okay. First, let's talk about answering a when question. So the verb is fly. When did she fly? Fly now. When, okay? Had arrived. Had arrived early. So these are the adverbs that answer the question when. Meaning we're talking about time. Okay? Now, adverbs that answer the question where. Jump. Jump aside. Where did she jump? Aside. Not in front, not at the back, but aside. She jumped aside. Was charging. Where was she charging? She was charging forward. Forward. So it talks about the placement. Okay? The placement of the verb. So, how? Now it also answered the question, how? How did they argue? They argued effectively. How did they argue? They argued roughly. Rough yung naging argument. Hindi maganda. But since they argued effectively, it means they arrived into a good compromise. Okay? How did they argue? Effectively. Meaning, hindi naman sila nagsabunutan. Nagkaayos din sila. Alright? Now, how will a person speak? How will the person speak? She will speak clearly. It describes how the person will speak. And then to what degree? So degree talks about completely, hardly, extremely, okay? Heavily, or you can say, how's the weather in your country? It rained heavily. So that's what we talk. That's what we are pertaining to when we talk about the degree. Okay. How was the traffic? It was the flow of traffic, or the traffic had flown heavily. Okay? So, in what degree did the traffic flow? Heavily. Okay? Or extremely. Okay? So, again, adverbs that modify verbs often answer the questions when, where, how, and to what degree. Any questions? Clear naman po. Okay. When modifying a verb, an adverb may appear in various positions in relation to the verb. So, it says here, kapag daw ang adverb, nakafocus siya sa pagmamodify ng verb, pwede siya kung saan-saan makikita sa sentence. Pero syempre, you have to still make sure that the structure is correct. As seen in this example, yung word na eventually, it can be found in the beginning, in the center, and at the end. Let's read the first example. Eventually, the train will arrive at the station. What does eventually mean? Mangyayari din naman in the future. Okay? The train will eventually arrive at the station. So as you can see, it is placed before the verb. Ito yung pinakamadali because safe ka na. Alam mo na pwede siyang i-place right before the verb. Okay? Or, pwede rin namang sa pinaka-unahan ng sentence. And then, kung gusto mo naman siyang ilagay sa dulo, make sure that it's the last word. Okay? The train will arrive at the station eventually. Pero ako, I don't like it kasi parang ang tagal mo naman, parang medyo pinabitin mo siya dito sa third example. Mas maganda yung mas clear ka umpisa pa lang. Like, eventually the train will arrive at the station. Okay? So I prefer using the first and the second example just because it's more understandable and effective. The candidate unexpectedly won. And the verb is won. And the word unexpectedly, it modifies won by a very narrow margin. Okay, hindi ine-expect na manalo, but she won. He ate quickly. Pwede rin naman that the adverb is located right after the verb. So here we have the word the verb is ate and quickly is the adverb. So yon. He ate quickly. He quickly ate. Pwede rin naman yan. That's right. She speaks Russian fluently. She fluently speaks Russian. Try to reply sensibly. Okay, try to sensibly reply. You can also use that structure if you want. Okay. May tanong ako. Russian. Ito yung sinasabi natin na adjectives. Ito yung isang example ng proper noun as an adjective, right? Because it talks about the person that speaks Russian. Okay. Adverbs that modify adjectives naman. So we're done discussing how adverbs modify verbs. Now we will move on to adverbs modifying adjectives. It gets a little more complicated, but since we're gonna tackle it little by little, it will get more clear eventually. It will eventually get more clear. Usually answer the question, to what degree? Okay, the train is extremely late. So, pansinin nyo, pag sinabi ko lang, the train is late. Siguro isipin niyo mga 15 minutes lang or 20 minutes lang na late. But if I say the train is extremely late, so parang maisip mo, ay, siguro 1 hour late yung train. So do you see how the words change the degree of the situation? Kung paano niya kayang palalain with the words that you use. Parang chismis lang yan. Kapag pinasa-pasa na yung gossip, it becomes more malala, or the degree changes because it alters the way people say it and the way people interpret it. Okay? Because we have different interpretations. So June felt rather weak. Okay. The word here is, the verb is felt. It's a sensory verb. Just take note of that. Okay? It's a sensory verb. And rather, weak. So weak is an adjective. It describes June. It describes how June feels, right? But since you added the word rather, it gives you an idea na iba yung degree ng weakness niya. Okay? Like, June felt rather weak. This sentence to me means that um, earlier he was feeling okay and strong and probably healthy. He was feeling absolutely fine. But now, June felt rather weak. Okay? So meaning, biglang nagbago yung timpla niya. Right? Siguro napagod siya or what. The solution was quite logical. So it means it modifies the word logical. And logical is an adjective which modifies the solution. Okay? Logical naman yung solution. However, since we added the adverb quite, it makes it weakens the statement. See? So kaya yung degree ng statement, nagwi-weaken siya. So, the solution was quite logical. Hindi siya ganon ka-logical. Konti lang. Ganon, right? But if I say, the solution was highly logical, meaning, ay, napaka-logical pala ng solution. I think I would rather use the highly logical solution rather than the quite logical solution. It was an extremely sour lemon. The noun is the lemon. The adjective is sour, and the adverb is extremely. And it actually modifies the word sour. It was not just sour, it was extremely sour. May mga lemon kasi na hindi ka kaya sa no reaction challenge. Pero may mga lemon na parang hindi mo na kayang itago yung facial expression mo. So yun yung extremely sour lemon. Is it clear? Okay, now I'm gonna ask you guys pala. Let's make an example. Let's make one example for each. Can you write a sentence right now with an adverb that modifies a verb? Okay? I want you to write one example and I will call on one person. So sa mga nasa Zoom, pwede rin kayong magbigay ng, you can you can send your entries. Make a sentence using an adverb that modifies a verb. Okay, do we have any answers already? I-check ko kaya isa-isa. Do you have an answer? Later and build. And do you have any answer? The girl runs. The girl runs. The girl, kung say yung ran, past tense, no? So the girl runs. Or the girl ran. Okay, yeah. Tama naman po yung paggamit na. Okay, anyone else? You have any answer? Yeah, hindi siya sure sa answer niya. Do you have an answer? Ano lang siya? Adverb that modifies verbs. The pianist plays well. Well is an adjective that describes the verb plays. So, tama siya. Okay, anyone else who wants to give their entry? Huh? The baby is extremely crying. Is crying extremely. Tama, tama. Kasi crying verb yun eh. How about the crying baby? The crying baby. Ano yun Adjective pa rin yun. Pero it is like a participle. Crying baby. Okay? Di ba kanina I mentioned that participles can also be considered as adjectives? Crying baby. Adjective. Yeah. The burnt pizza. Future tense, parang hindi. Parang present and past. Future tense, hindi ko pa na-encounter. Let's check it out later. For example, I am writing a number. For example, 4. I use the number 4 or the word 4? For writing. Sa writing. Okay, sa writing, avoid numericals. Mas maganda if i-word nyo na. Even to number. Oo. Pero pag date naman, like May 12, 1993, okay lang naman. Alam mo, isulat mo pa isa, 1993. Di ba? Parang okay naman yun. Pero let's say, you're talking about, there are 4 books on the table. I-complete mo na yung word na 4, F-O-U-R. Wag nang number na 4. Okay? Kasi sa writing, ganun daw yun eh. Hindi ko rin alam sino nagsabi nun, pero yun. That's the right thing to do. Okay? And then, let's make one more example. Example sentence of an adverb that modifies adjectives. Ito, medyo mas challenging siya, pero kaya naman. So, ayan yung mga examples. Pwede din kayong, you can take inspiration from the sentences here on the board. Sunod-sunod yung my birthday. Nakakatawa kasi March 3, birthday nung anak ni Sir Kevin. March 9, birthday ni Kevin. Tama ba? March 9? And kahapon, kilala mo ba siya? Friend mo ba si Sir Kevin? Ano mo siya? Tito? Ha? Tito? Tito mo siya? Hindi po. Ano? Okay. Ang dami niyang ganap this March. Hindi ko din nga alam. Ngayon ko lang din nalaman na magkakasunod ba yung birthday nilang family. So, pag nagkaanak siyang girl, probably sa March din yun. Nandun kasi kami nung birthday nung anak niya. Nakita niyo na ba yung anak niya? Super cute! Super cute. Tsaka in person, ano siya, like, hindi siya nangingilala. Like, sinasama siya kahit kanina, ganun. Pwede siyang nakawin. Nanakawin ko eh. Char! Oo, cute yung bata. Napaka-emotional niya nga nung birthday kasi di ba sabi, yung parents daw, magbigay ng message dun sa birthday boy. Naiiyak-iyak siyang ganun. Parang, hindi kasi daw, nung pinanganak yung baby, marami siyang complications at sakit, ganun. Pero ngayon, healthy na siya. Kaya parang, syempre, as first-time parents, very nerve-wracking naman talaga yon. I don't know because I've never been one, but probably it is kasi naiyak-iyak nga siya. Tapos ang wisit ng mga clown, ang pinatugtog pang background music ni sa MMK. Tuloy ako na iiyak. I was like, stop, stop, stop yung makeup. Yung... Wala lang, na-share ko lang. March 9. Ano kahapon? 13 na na. Ba't di pa kaya nila pinag-isa yung mga birthday nila? Para tipid. Sa March 31 lahat gaganapin. Oo nga. Okay. Can you read your example sentence for adverbs that modify adjectives? O yung mga hindi sumagot kanina, baka naman. Ayun. Bakit? Madali lang naman kung ano ah. Adverbs that modify adjectives. Usually, kung sa mga English na topic, dati po ng mga lower English, kung ano na lang po yung bagay, kung anong bagay na word po. Diba kung may ABC, sana po yung kung ano word yun. Kasi yun. Oo, ano na lang po yung bagay. Maganda po sa... magmaganda ba sa akin? Pag maganda pa kayo. Okay. May example ka? Sige po. Eh, ikaw, JP, baka meron. I have an amazing what experience that I had an amazing experience last summer. So, ang adjective niyo ay amazing. So, ang experience niyo ay yung no, this is the noun experience. Tama po. Kasi you're describing the experience. So, unang buhay na I had an unforgettable, amazing experience. Or I had an extremely amazing experience. Extremely is a word. So the example is, I had an extremely amazing experience last summer. So the word amazing is the adjective that describes the noun experience. Extremely is an adverb that modifies the word amazing. Because amazing here is an adjective. So, lalagyan lang ko ng extremely. I found my... Wait lang. Quiet siya. Hindi siya redundant, kulang siya actions. So, si lover, yan yung noun, si lover. So, the word that you used is, the adjective that you use is quiet. As in, tahimik. Tama po ba? Tahimik. Quiet. Can I use your pen, please? Okay. I found my quiet lover. Okay. Now, since the word quiet functions as an adjective, Kasi tahimik lang siya, di ba? You're talking about your lover na tahimik lang. Siya ba si Mark? Ayun, lang, benta naman. Mark siguro name nito. Tahimik lang daw eh. I found my... medyo loading. Medyo na-late siya. Si Brandon medyo ano. I found my... You can say... What are other words to describe quiet? Slightly quiet lover. Slightly. Hindi naman pala siya super, super quiet. Slightly lang. Okay, so ang napansin ko sa mga sentences nyo, nilagyan nyo siya ng adjective, pero hindi nyo siya nilagyan ng adverb. Ba't kaya? Pero ito, I found my slightly quiet lover. O sana all nakahanap ng lover, oh. Okay, so slightly quiet. So hindi pala siya sobrang quiet. Slightly quiet lang siya. So that's good. Kasi ang hirap din ang tahimik masyado eh. Nasa loob yung ulo. Can I see your example, please? I am physically tired. Tired is an adjective that describes you. You are the subject. Wala. I am physically tired. Physically is an adjective that describes the verb. I am physically tired. Oh, tama to. Yes, that's right. Okay, any other examples? Yeah, sure. The surgery was performed successfully. So, the word performed kasi ito yung verb, right? The surgery was performed. How was the... So, itong example mong una is the first na hiningi ko, which is an adverb that describes a verb. Because successfully describes how the surgery was performed. Okay? So yung verb dito is performed and then the adverb is successfully. Tama naman. However, the second activity is asking you to use an adjective that modifies an adverb that modifies an adjective. So parang what you can do in this sentence is the surgery was performed. It was a successful surgery. Yun na lang. Extremely successful. It was an extremely successful surgery. Okay. If you put it that way, it was an extremely successful surgery. Successful describes the surgery, and extremely is an adverb that modifies the adjective successfully. Okay? Is it clear? Okay. Iibahin mo lang yung structure, pero I got the idea. Okay. Here are more examples of adverbs. Oh, okay, hindi na pala to. Ito na yung third category, guys. So yung first category, adverbs that modify verbs. Second category is adverbs that modify adjectives. And the third one is adverbs that modify adverbs. Okay? It answers the question to what degree. It appears directly before the modified word. It appears directly before. Take note of the location of your adverbs. Okay? To what degree? Walk slowly. Always wins. Call often. How did he walk? He walked quite slowly. He's a quiet lover. Hindi, joke lang. Iba yun. He walked quite slowly. So the verb is walk. The adverb is slowly. And another adverb is quite. So itong slowly, it modifies the word walk. But the word quite modifies the adverb slowly. Nagkaka-modified sila. Yun. But do you understand? It appears before the modified word. So meaning, slowly is the adverb, another adverb is quite. Hindi sobrang slowly, quite slowly lang. Okay? Another example, almost always wins. Almost always wins. So, yung verb dito is wins. Okay? Medyo nakakalitong itong part nito kasi the word always is in between. So, it says here, how often or to what degree that does the contestant win? Always. It always wins, but almost lang daw. Bakit sino ba naglagay ng example na to? Nakakalito Napakamot siya ng ulo. Alright, so this is a rather complex, too complex example. So, parang hindi tayo sure kung lagi ba siyang nananalo or almost. Pero ang ibig sabihin nito, munti ka na siyang nanalo. Lagi na lang siyang munti ka na nanalo. Di ba pag tinagalog mo, mas magigets mo? Lagi na lang siyang almost nananalo, pero hindi siya nananalo. That's what it means, okay? Alright, that was confusing, but we got it. Okay. So yeah, lagi lang siyang muntikan. Ayan yung mga problema eh. Yung muntikan ka lang minahal, muntikan lang naging kayo, pero hindi naman talaga. Mga ganyan. Delikado tayo sa mga muntikan. Wait, naalala ko talaga, tuloy yung kanta ni Ariana. Alam niyo yung almost is never enough. Alam niyo yung kanta na yan? So, ibig sabihin nun, like, the partner almost fell in love with her, however, almost lang. Not totally. Yung parang muntikan lang. Okay. I will ask Sir Kevin to delete that example because it's not, hindi siya nakakatawa. Joke lang. Okay, so, gets naman yung ibig sabihin ng second example, right? Hindi siya laging nananalo, lagi lang siyang muntikan. Okay, so next. Call too often. The verb is call. Gaano siya kadalas tumawag? Too. Masyadong madalas. Alright? So the word too modifies the word often. Okay. Call too often. Call seldom. Call too seldom. Okay. Masyadong bihira if you use the word seldom. Okay. Example sentences. They were only partially convinced. They were only partially convinced. So the word convinced is the verb. Partially lang daw sila na convinced, pero only is an adverb, another adverb that modifies the adverb partially. Okay? The play ended somewhat abruptly. Okay. Somewhat is the adverb that modifies the adverb abruptly. Okay? Meaning, the play ended biglaan. Parang bitin yung play. Yung ending niya, masyadong mabilis. So, abruptly means too fast. Okay? The play ended abruptly. Somewhat, it adds more meaning to the sentence. Parang yung word na parang. Okay? So, yung play, nagtapos siya ng mabilis. Pero if you're going to add the word somewhat, it actually means parang masyadong mabilis natapos yung play. So is it clear? That's why it adds a more precise meaning to the sentence. If you use an adverb to modify another adverb, mas magiging detailed pa siya. Yung tipong ginawa ng na-understand mo na siya using the adverb, pero dinagdagan pa ng another adverb. That's why it makes it more precise. It adds meaning to the explanation. Please speak more slowly. Ibig sabihin, slowly na nga siya nagsispeak, but you requested for her to speak more slowly. Okay? So, yep. I know him very well. Ibig sabihin niyan, close sila. Not just well, very well. I am not completely finished. Same lang yan sa almost always. Hindi ka na siyang matapos. Kasi sabi niya lang, I am not completely finished, but I'm getting there. I'm almost there. Parang ganun lang yun. Okay? So, now, medyo challenging gumawa ng sentence that using an adverb that modifies another adverb. But try nyo lang. Just so that you can put it into practice. And I will be giving my own example as well. Ayaw na magparamdam ng mga nasa Zoom. Ayaw nilang gumawa ng mga sentences. Tulog? Actually, totoo rin yun. Kasi nung minsan nung attend ako ng Zoom class, inantok din ako nun. Do you have samples? Pwede nyo rin gayahin yung mga nandyan. Polar bears are hardly ever seen in this part of the park. So polar bears are hardly ever seen. The verb is seen. Hardly is the adverb that modifies ever. Okay? Hardly ever seen in this part of the park. Meaning, sa area na yun ng park, sobrang bihira lang nilang makakita ng polar bears. May slept quite early. The verb is slept. And then the adverb is early. And quite is another adverb, quite early. She works most efficiently at night. She works most efficiently at night. Meaning, pinaka-active yung utak niya sa gabi. Okay? She works most efficiently at night. Okay? So, for example, me, I am not a morning person, to be honest. I wake up at around 10 or 11 a.m. On a regular schedule. So, I start becoming productive at 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. Yan. I start becoming productive in the afternoon. So from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m., I can say that's my productive, or I can work efficiently during the hours from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. Because I'm not a morning person. But if I add the word most, I work most efficiently at late hours, meaning 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. So, mas naging specific yung gusto kong iparating na message. So, that's why adverbs are so important. Because the meaning of your sentence, what you're trying to say, becomes more specific, more precise, and it modifies it to the degree na mas ano siya, specific. Okay? Do you have any answers? Would you like to give your answer?
The steak tastes very good.
Yun! The steak tastes. So we use the sensory verb taste. The steak tastes very good. Not just good, very good. Okay. Very good ka din. Okay. May nag-send ng example dito sa Zoom. Okay. My English teacher is incredibly beautiful. Hala! Hindi, iba. My English teacher is incredibly patient. Sabi niya ganon. Uy! It doesn't change the fact that my one-on-one speaking tayo bukas. My English teacher is incredibly patient. So, patient is actually an adjective. It's not an adverb. So, my English, tama naman yung sentence. It's just that ang nire-require kong sentence is an adverb that modifies another adverb. But in this case, my English teacher is incredibly patient. The word incredibly is an adjective or an adverb that describes patient. Wait a minute, let me give it a thought. My English teacher is incredibly patient. Patient is an adjective that describes the teacher, the English teacher. And then incredibly is an adverb. Tama. So let's move on to the next example. The cops attacked the man quite savagely. Wow, ang galing niya mag-Google. Joke. Hindi, joke lang kasi. The cops attacked the man quite savagely. So let's try to understand his example. The cops, the subject, cops, attack is the verb. The cops attacked the man quite savagely. The adverb is savagely that describes the attack, and then quite is another adverb that modifies the adverb savagely. Therefore, Jose, your example is well Googled. Just kidding. Your example is perfect. Good job. Wow, naging Miss Rachel. Kay Chat GPT po yan. Sabi ko na eh. Joke lang. Alright, so there you go. Thank you for all those who sent their examples. Good job. Okay, so we don't have time anymore for... Okay, I'm just gonna discuss this one. I think this is the last. Ay, dapat pala i-cover ko din to. Common problems with adverbs and adjectives. Okay, let's do it quickly. Okay, intensifiers. From the word intensifier, from the root word intense, it actually means you make it you make it more extreme, right? You intensify it. Full degree, completely, totally, absolutely, entirely, quite, large degree, very, extremely, really, awfully, terribly. So medium, very, quite, rather, really. Small degree is a little, a bit, slightly. Others, so as to, more, most, less, least. Okay. Nasa handouts po yan, guys. Okay, so may iba-ibang level tayo ng intensifiers. As you can see, merong small, medium, large, and full. Meron ding others. Pero, bakit, di ko maintindihan bakit inuna yung full. Dapat too small. Problematic joke. So, yun. Meron tayong iba't ibang degree ng intensity. So, these are the adjectives that you can use depending on the intensity of the words that you're describing. Example, this tin opener is completely useless. Na-intensify po ba ang word na useless? Yes. Kasi, mas pinamukha sa sentence na to na useless talaga. Kasi, dinagdagan niya ng word na completely. Right? The tin opener is completely useless. We are absolutely delighted at the news. May mga taong mahilig gumamit ng intensifiers, ng mga adjectives, adverbs to intensify a certain sentence. And I think a person who does that is, you can say that person is fluent in English, and that person is, may mga tao kasing very specific on what they were trying to say. When they communicate, they try to be very specific. And that's why they use a lot of adverbs and adjectives. And I feel like that's okay. If you want that, if you really want to be more specific, then so be it. We terribly miss him. Okay? Terribly miss him. I am not completely finished. Same lang yan sa kaninang example. Okay. It only means that there are a few other steps to be done before he finishes or she finishes the task. Okay. So clear po ba kung paano gamitin ang intensifiers sa adverbs? Okay. Common problems with adverbs and adjectives. So minsan, we misuse adverbs and adjectives. Example, once the test was over, Sharon walked slow out of the classroom. Okay. Ano ang problema dito sa sentence ito? Can somebody identify it? Wow, ang daming baon today ni Jose. Siya lang yung active dito sa ano. Yes, exactly. The answer is slow. So ano yung tamang sagot? Once the test was over, Sharon walked slowly out of the classroom. So, pinaka-common mistake is with the word really. Minsan, when you try to speak fast, you just say real. It was a real, amazing concert. Okay? Pero, ang tama doon, it was a really amazing concert. Okay? All right, more examples. We tried real hard to get the muffin mixture perfect. Ito na nga yun. Talaga, sure ka? Well, your answer is right. We tried really hard to get the muffin mixture perfect. That's the thing about baking. You have to make sure that the ingredients are accurate. You know, hindi siya yung parang pag nagluluto ka lang ng any dish, like you just, you either add more spices, ingredients. Pagdating sa baking, pag hindi accurate, iba din yung result, no? Yan. So, for those who may baking business or customized cake businesses, hindi mo rin sila masisisi kung bakit ang mahal din ng mga singil nila sa mga cakes nila because it's really how can you call that? Napaka-meticulous kasi ng pagbe-bake. I also thought that it was easy at first. Tapos parang ang dali lang kasi ang ganda na agad ng mga customized cakes, di ba? Pero I realized, no, sobrang mahirap siya. Tsaka if ever man nagkamali ka, definitely, ayun, mag-aabono ka or something like that. Some other adverbs, such as barely, hardly, scarcely, imply the negative and should not be used with another negative. Pag sinabi natin imply, although the meaning is not clearly stated, meron siyang hidden meaning na kailangan mong i-interpret. Okay? So, example, even though he has lived in Toronto for 4 years, he does not have hardly any friends. So, does not have, tapos hardly, parang yung negative yun eh. Okay? So, you can put them together. Because you have to make sure na tama yung gusto mong iparating na message. Such as, even though he has lived in Toronto for 4 years, he has hardly any friends. So, tanggalin na natin yung does not. He has hardly any friends. Meaning, ang tagal na niya sa Toronto, pero wala siyang masyadong naging friends. Kasi mas maugali niya. Joke lang. Probably because he's an introvert. Or probably because focus sa career. Something like that. Okay? Or pinagbawalan ng jowa. Na lumabas. Even though he has lived in Toronto for 4 years, he does not have many friends there. So ito naman, tama rin naman to. It's just that we removed hardly and we just add does not have many friends there. But the meaning is the same. It's just that we use different adverbs and adjectives to intensify or to say the exact message, okay? All right. Gutom na ba kayo? Ay, 12:05 na. Yes, no. Okay, last na. Common problems with adverbs and adjectives. Bad or badly, good or well. Nai-interchange natin. Ito yung mga common na nai-interchange natin. So, be watchful of these mistakes. I don't feel bad that I played badly at the football game today. She protested that she was well enough to sing well again. Okay, so what do we change? I don't feel bad that I played badly at the football game today. So, ano pwede nating i-replace? Poorly. Right? I don't feel bad that I played poorly at the football game today. She protested that she was good enough to sing well again. So, ito dapat good. Okay? Okay, so before we end, let's do this activity. Identify 20 adverbs in this paragraph. 20 lang, 20. 20 lang. Okay lang yan, kahit maka 10 ka lang. Okay, try nyo lang naman, guys. Sa mga gustong sumagot dito sa Zoom, pwede rin naman. Or kung gusto niyo nang mag-lunch, marami ng gutom, marami nang umalis eh. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. Anong araw ngayon? Thursday, no? 4 p.m. 4:30 p.m. pa lang. Dapat nasa bahay. Nakailan na kayo? 12 participants on Zoom and 5 and 13 participants here, right? Okay. Yeah, you still have time. Okay. Let's check. Sige nga, ano yung mga nahanap yung adjectives? Adverbs pala. Aba, nilista talaga niya lahat. Okay, meaningfully, persistently. Lahat lang ng li? Namataya ka daw kasi. Lahat lang daw ng li. Creatively, professionally. Well, sa bagay, tama naman talaga yon. Her quite frequent tips to the Caribbean? Trips. I think it's this is supposed to be trips. Her quite frequent trips to the Caribbean and Africa helped her substantially, and she translated African dances meaningfully for all audiences. At the age of 60, Prima had hardly slow. Okay, let's reveal the answers. 1, 2, 3.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Ay, 14 lang yung nahanap mo, se. Kulang pa ng 6. Kayo, ilan yung nahanap nyo? Ha? 14 din? 14 din yung iba? 20 daw eh. Okay. The revelation. Okay, natapos na ba lahat? Or hindi pa rin sumusuko si Jade? Kaya mo yan? Eto na. Most of you did not get still and later. No. Yung very, in-underestimate nyo rin yung very. While she was still a child, Pearl Primus came to the United States from Trinidad. Later. Ah, papatayin lahat? Okay. Nasa handout naman yan eh. Okay, now that the lecture is over, it's time for us to watch the Erin tour. Sa handouts nyo na lang tingnan. Or gusto nyo screenshot ko to, tapos send ko sa GC. Ay, oo nga pala, hindi ka nga, ano name mo? Anong available time mo tomorrow? Kasi ito na yung listahan ng 15. Nag-CR ka yata kanina kasi, right? So, ang pinaka earliest time you can come is 12:30. 12:30. Kasi hanggang 1 lang ako dito. Ganyan lang, di ba inad mo sa Facebook? Chat kita kung alanganin na ba or what. Or gusto mo ba ngayon na? Right after this class? Okay, sige. I-chat kita later if ever kaya pa tomorrow ha. Kasi I really need to leave at 1 and 1:30 na yung latest kong pag-alis tomorrow. Kaya magsa-start kami ng 8. Napakaaga. San Jose? Sino? Wala ka nga sa listahan eh. Doon ka kay Sir Kevin. Wait lang. Bago tayo mag-chikahan, mag-goodbye muna ako. Guys, we need to end the meeting. And thank you so much for staying, everyone. Ang nagstay na lang si Jose, si Arten, at si Angela. Kayo lang yung may +1, Char. Okay, bye!